everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mary Ayarinde Okedairo, also known as Mayrie Styles. If this is your first time here, you're absolutely welcome. On this channel, we'll talk about fashion, sewing tutorials, and DIYs. So if this sounds like something that interests you, please subscribe to this channel if you have not done that already, and click on the notification bell so that you can know whenever I upload a new video. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you how to take accurate body measurements for your corset. So if this is something you're interested in, keep on watching. Before taking body measurement for a corset, it is very important that you consider the following factor I'll be sharing with you in this video. The first factor I'll be sharing with you in this video is ensure your client is at ease when you're taking their body measurements. There are times when you're taking a client's measurements, the client wants to be everywhere. It is either they are looking up, they are looking down, they want to pick a call, they want to do that, they want to do this. It is your duty as a fashion designer to always educate your client about the need to maintain the right posture when it comes to taking their body measurements. When you want to take your client's measurement, it is important that they stand straight and they are looking straight. When you bend, it will definitely affect your measurement, and if you're looking up as well, it will definitely affect your measurement. So it is expected that you tell your client to stand straight and also look straight. That will help you to get the right measurement. The second factor I'll be sharing with you is ensure your client wears a firm bra when you're taking your client's measurement. There are times when a client will come to your workspace without putting on a bra and they want you to take their body measurements that way. It is your duty as a fashion designer to educate your client. Also, you need to let them know that for you to get their accurate bust measurement, they need to wear a firm bra, especially when you're making a corset. The third factor I'll be sharing with you is ensure that the clothes worn by one when taking your client's measurements must be fitted. Yes, it is very important that when your client comes for measurement, they are wearing a fitted garment, a fitted outfit. Shouldn't be the case where they are wearing a dramatic wear and you're finding it difficult to take accurate measurement of their body parts. So it is expected that they are wearing an outfit that will easily help you to get the accurate body measurement. And the last factor I'll be sharing with you is ensure that you measure twice to confirm your measurements are taken accurately. This is very important. There are times when you might make mistake while taking the measurement. So it is expected that you take your client's measurement twice to be very sure that you have taken the right measurement. So let me go through the points again. Ensure that your client is at ease. Ensure your client wears a firm bra. Ensure that the clothes worn when taking your client's measurements must be fitted. Measure twice to confirm your measurements are taken accurately. Now let's dive into how to take body measurements when making a corset. So let's assume this is our client. Please, I need you to note something. If you have your own method of taking body measurements when working with a corset, please, I would advise that you stick to your method. But if you're a beginner or you don't have an idea about taking measurements when making a corset, you can adapt my own method. So let's assume this is our client. The first measurement I take when measuring my client is the shoulder to shoulder measurement. And for you to take the shoulder to shoulder measurement, the shoulder to shoulder measurement runs from one point of the shoulder to the other point. The point where your shoulder is falling is where the shoulder measurement ends, from one point to the other. So when you're taking your shoulder measurement, you run your tape from one edge of the shoulder to the other edge. Can you see how the tape is running across the back? You shouldn't take your measurement like this. I've seen people taking their shoulder measurement like this. It is very wrong. When you take your measurement like this, from the dress form, I have 15 inches when you take it like this. But when you take your shoulder measurement like this, I have 15 and a half. So this is how you take your shoulder to shoulder measurement, from one point of your shoulder to the other point of your shoulder. So the next measurement I take
are the horizontal measurement. We have the horizontal measurement and we have the vertical measurement. The horizontal measurement comprises of the bust, the underbust, the waist, and then the hem of your corset or your top. So when you're taking the bust measurement, you run your tape round your client like so. You ensure that it is not too loose or too tight, but ensure that you take your measurement firm when you're working with a corset, because a corset is a firm garment. It's a firm outfit, it's a fitted outfit. So you need to take your measurement in the you need to make sure that your measurement is fitted. And please note that when you're taking the measurement as well, ensure that it runs across the back like so. You shouldn't be taking your measurement and you shouldn't be taking your measurement and the back is looking like this. No, it needs to align with the front. That is how you take your bust measurement. The next measurement you need to take when working with a corset is the under bust measurement. How do you get the under bust measurement? The under bust measurement sits immediately after the bust. That is where your brow wire is situated. So you can use that as a guide. So you just run your tape around your under bust measurement. Ensure that you take it very fitted as well, because all this will contribute into having a perfect corset. So the next measurement to take is the waist measurement. And what I advise is when you're taking the waist measurement, it is advisable that you tie a rope round the waist area. This is to be sure you're taking the waist measurement. And how can you get your waist measurement? You can simply tell your client to bend to the side. So when you bend to the side, the area that folds in is your actual waist measurement. So that is the tiniest part of your waist, because when making a corset, you want to achieve that snatching effect. You want to cinch the waist. So it is expected that you get the actual waist measurement. So when you tie a rope around your client, when you are measuring your client, you tell your client to bend sideways and then you tie a rope around that area. And once you do that, you take your waist measurements around that area. Remember, I said when you're taking your measurement, ensure that it is not too tight and it is not too loose, but ensure that it is fitted. You should not give room for space. You can say that my fingers are not inside the tape, they are outside the tape. I want the measurements to be taken perfectly. So the next measurement to take is the hem of your corset. So you need to determine where you want your corset length to be. Do you want your corset to be 6 inches after your waist measurement? Do you want it to be 5 inches, or you want it to be 7 inches after your waist measurement? But I'll advise that when you're taking the length of your corset should not be too long. When your corset is too long, you would find it very difficult to sit down, and that can be uncomfortable. So I would advise that you go above the hip level a bit when taking the length of your corset. So you can just tie a rope also around that area, and then you take the measurement round the hem of your corset. We'll be using this measurement when we are drafting our corset. So please, you need to take this measurement. So that is all for the horizontal measurements. The next measurement you need to take are the vertical measurements. So the first measurement I take is the shoulder to bust point, the shoulder to bust point. So you place your tape at the edge of your shoulder. Can you see? You place it, you don't place your tape like this. You don't place it at the falling area of your shoulder. You place it at the highest point, and then you place your tape like so. So that is how you take your shoulder to nipple point. But note that it is not always compulsory you take this measurement. You can also derive your shoulder to nipple point on your pattern. So I will also show you how that is done as we proceed with the class. The next measurement you need to take is your shoulder to your under bust measurement. So that point where your brow wire is situated can be a guide. So you take your shoulder to under bust, you take your shoulder to your waist measurement. Remember I said you should always tie a rope to get your waist line. So you take your waist measurement and then you take the length of your corset as well. Another very important measurement you need to take is your shoulder to waist measurement for the back. The shoulder to waist measurement for the front is always different from the shoulder to waist measurement for the back because the front as the bust. So the bust tends to increase the measurements for the front. But there are times when some clients they have the same measurements, the same half length for the front and the back. Yes, there are times when you come across such measurements, but it is always important that you take the measurements for the front from the back. And how do you do this? You can place your tape at the nip of your neck and then you take your measurements like so. So that is how you take your body measurements for your clients. The next measurement I would take is the cleavage measurements. The cleavage measurements. And to get the cleavage measurement, what you do is you place your tape at the depth of your neck like this, and then you take your cleavage measurements. So you can't use the same cleavage measurement for every client. Some clients don't want to reveal their bust area while some want to reveal their bust area. So whatever measurement you're taking should be based on your client's preference. So when you're taking your client's measurement, it is very important that you communicate with your client. You ask them questions. Okay, are you comfortable with this measurement or do you want it this way? It is very, very important that you communicate with them. So to get your cleavage measurement, you place your tape at the depth of your neck like so, and then you take your cleavage measurements. Another important measurement you need to take is your over bust measurement. That is where your corset is starting from. Especially if you're making a sweetheart neck, it is very important. Take for instance, if you're making a sweetheart neck, it goes like this down to the cleavage. So you need to get where the over bust measurement is. So to do that, you place your tape like this and then you get your over bust measurement. So to get your over bust measurement, that is the starting point of your corset. You might want to review their bust as well, so you can ask your clients depending on their preference, and some might not want to review their bust, so you note the point in which their corset would start from. Next measurement to take is your bust point to bust point. So how do you do that? You simply place your tape on one point of the bust to the other point. That is the area where the bust is fuller, the center. So you place your tape like this from one point to the other. On this mannequin, I have 7 inches. So basically, that is all when it comes to making a corset. And if you're going to add in sleeve to your corset, you take your sleeve measurements, you take all the required measurements. So that is all for this video. Please, if you find this helpful, please give this video a like, comment, ask your questions, share with friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.